Okay, advanced abstract equations. I really like these for some reason. I don't know why. It's just that facet of freeing the variable that's so fun to me. So, this one says solve for m. So we have to get m. It's very trapped. It's trapped inside this fraction, it's trapped in the denominator, and we have to free it. So just think about being on a mission to free the m, and it makes these problems very enjoyable. The advanced ones have fractions in them, so the first thing you want to do in the advanced abstract equations, or actually any equation, is you want to get rid of the fractions. So I'm going to take and I'm going to multiply every term. You only do this when it's an equation by the common denominator, which is xm. So the x's cross out, so I'm going to get ma plus mb. Here the m's cross out, so I'm going to get xy. And now we multiply xm times k. Make sure you multiply it times all of them. Nothing crosses out because it's k over 1. What I did was made a bigger mess because now I started with 1m and now I have 3 m's. So when that happens, if you get more than 1m, you need to get all your variables on one side that you're trying to solve for and get everything else on the other. So I'm going to leave my ma here, my mb here, and I'm going to subtract an xmk from this side to that side, and that means I have to subtract my xy on this side, from both sides. Now we have all the m's in one side, so we can factor our m out. So we get a plus b minus xk equals negative xy. Since we have two factors, we can divide both sides by one of the factors. So I'm going to divide both sides by a plus b minus xk. This is going to be a plus b minus xk. I didn't like to do that work. These cross out, so you get m equals negative xy over a plus b minus xk. In the book, the answer looks different. They're just going to multiply the top and bottom by negative. So they have xy over xk minus a minus b or something like that. So you can do it either way. This is not wrong. Sometimes it just ends up looking different. Okay, let's do another one. This one is solve for x. Same thing. We have our variable that we're looking for in the denominator, so we're going to multiply everything by the common denominator, which is cx. C's cross out, so you get xmp plus the x is crossed out. Make sure you distribute, so we get cd plus c squared. I'm starting to get scared on this one a little bit. We just got ourselves a quadratic equation. Alright, equals dcx. We're trying to solve for x. I was looking to see if maybe I did something wrong because the book does not have a quadratic equation going on. I think I copied the problem wrong. Oh, this was an e. That's why it didn't work. Let me just fix that and then I'll start the video over again. Okay, so I want to change this right here. Whoa, wrong color. Okay, I'm going to try fixing that again. So, this is going to be, sorry about that, this was supposed to be an E. Oops. Let me just get my pencil back. It gets sloppy and then I can't do the problem. Okay, so let's start this over. So you get xmp, and the x is crossed out, so you get cd. The x is crossed out, and you get ce. That makes the problem a lot easier. Okay, we have x's on both sides, so that means we need to get all the x's on one side. So we get cd plus ce equals dcx minus xmp. Then we factor out our x's, so you get cd plus ce equals x times dc minus mp. And then we just divide both sides by this. So we get x equals, I can switch these around at any time, cd plus ce over dc minus mp. And I actually lined up with the book this time. Alright, a couple more of these. I think these aren't that complicated. Let me just go and get another. I have two parts to this lesson, so hold on 1 minute till I get the other part. This is 55B. And here we go. Okay, solve for A. Why don't you try solving for A and see if you get what I get when I solve for A. So go ahead and get it started. Your common denominator, maybe I'll help you out a little bit, is y times A plus B. I just realized I can pause the video, so go ahead and do that and I'll pause the video. Okay, so this is your common denominator. The y's cross out, so you get mxa plus mxb plus dy equals py times a plus b. I accidentally did an extra step there. We're solving for a, so keep that in mind. That's really a trapped variable. Whew. Okay, I'm going to distribute this. Actually, I'm just going to erase it and distribute it. Just to save myself a little bit of writing. Whoops, I'm erasing too much there. Okay. So I'm going to get PYA plus PYB. Now here's an A term, here's an A term. We're going to get them on the same side. So you get MXA minus PYA equals PYB, and I'm going to bring that over there, minus DY. You can just type in stop if I'm going too fast, and I'll stop the video and try to explain it better. So we take out the A, so we get MX minus PY equals PYB minus DY. And I think I got the wrong answer. Hold on 1 second. I lost something. Aha! I forgot to take this guy over there too. Minus MXB minus MXB. Now we just divide both sides by what's in parentheses. So we get A equals PYB minus DY minus MXB all over MX minus PY. Not so bad. So you get rid of your fractions, get all the whatever you're looking for, get it all on one side, factor it out, and then divide by the other factor. Okay, the second part of this lesson is called word problems and quadratic equations. So we're just going to do a word problem, and they're going to end up being quadratic equations. So it says find 3 consecutive integers. So let's get our 3 consecutive integers. X equals the first, x plus 1 equals the second. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would write your headings when you do these problems. Just a good habit to have. Find 3 consecutive integers such that the product of the first and third. Well, product means multiplication. So the product of the first and the third, that's why it's so helpful to have these. Product of first and third is 4 greater than 4 times the second. Okay, 4 times the second would be 4 times the second, and it's 4 greater. So I like to add that on. They subtract off the 4 from this side, so you can do whatever you would like to do. Is 4 greater than 4 times the second. So then you just multiply this out. X squared plus 2x equals 4x plus 4 plus 4. It's quadratic because the highest exponent is 2. It's not a linear equation. It's a quadratic. You're going to get 2 answers, and whenever you see quadratic, you have to think set everything equal to 0. So I'm going to move everything over here. I like to keep my x squared term positive, so it's going to be x squared. If I subtract 4x from 2x, I'm going to get negative 2x. and 2 4s is 8, and I'm going to subtract them, so I'm going to get minus 8 equals 0, and then hopefully it factors. If it doesn't factor, you have to use the quadratic formula, which I'm not even sure we did yet. X, 4, 2, how nice. You should be really good at factoring now. You want this sign to be negative, so the bigger one has to be negative. And you solve it, x equals negative 2 and x equals 4. So you're going to get 2 sets of numbers for this. So let's just write in our numbers and we'll be done. So the first set of numbers is we have negative, we get negative 2. If we added 1 to negative 2, we get negative 1. And if we add to negative 1, we get 0. And our second set of integers would be 4, 5, and 6. So your answers to this would be 4, 5, 6, and negative 2, negative 1, 0. You can go the other, yeah, you keep in that order actually. Alright, that was a rather long lesson 2, so that's it for lesson 55.